In this video, you're going to learn how to ask questions in Spanish. First, we should review the question words in Spanish. ¿A dónde? To where. ¿Cómo? How. ¿Cuál or cuáles? Which or which ones? I believe this is a new one for us. ¿Cuándo? When. ¿Cuánto o cuánta? How much. ¿Cuántos? ¿Cuántas? How many. ¿Dónde? Where. ¿Por qué? Why. ¿Qué? What. ¿Quién o quiénes? Who. Remember that every single interrogative word carries an accent mark. Okay? Now the difference between que and cuál. Que can be followed directly by a noun, but cuál cannot. So if you have to pick one or the other, you analyze. If you have a noun there, you can use que, but you cannot use cuál. ¿Qué hotel es el mejor? ¿Cuál de, this is a preposition, cuál de las llaves necesito? Let's start with the basic ways to ask a question, and then we're going to see some problematic points. First, make sure to invert the subject and the verb from a statement to a question. For example, ¿dónde trabaja tu madre? So tu madre needs to go after the verb. Where does your mom work? ¿Cómo se llama tu maestra de español? ¿Cuándo viajaron tus padres a México? So the subject of your verb always goes after the verb. The reason is because we don't have do or does or did in Spanish, so you flip that to show it's a question. Number two, basic stuff. When you have a question using quien, always conjugate the verb in the él, ella, usted form, okay? You do that in English too. You ask, for example, who lives here? Lives is a form that is used for he and she. ¿Quién vive aquí? ¿Quién compró tu coche? ¿Quién comió pizza ayer? Now, this is a problematic point. Whenever you use the interrogative words cuantos or cuantas, they are always followed by a noun. Some people think the noun is the subject and they try to switch. Don't do that. For example, ¿cuántas personas fueron a tu casa ayer? How many what? How many people? How many desks? You always need a noun after cuántos o cuántas. ¿Cuántos estudiantes hay en la clase? How many students are there in the classroom? When creating questions to answers, you need to consider what kind of answer you have. One type of answer is called a yes or no answer. So you have a yes or no question to make. This is the easiest kind of answer you have. Therefore, it's going to be the easiest question you're going to make because all you have to do is to rearrange the question based on your answer and, of course, make a little change. So, for example, if I have sí, compré un carro nuevo la semana pasada. Yes, I bought a new car last week. So you're going to ask, did you buy a new car last week? Just confirming, okay? So that will be an easy way to ask a question. So you just have to change to tu form because I answered in the yo form. But the rest of the sentence would be the same. ¿Compraste un carro nuevo la semana pasada? Sí, compré un carro nuevo la semana pasada. Let's see another example. No, no hice la tarea. So in this case, you're going to ask me and I'm going to say, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do my homework. So the question is, ¿hiciste la tarea? Again, I'm going to ask in the tu form because I answer in the yo form. Sí, yo conozco al señor Feldman. Yes, I know Mr. Feldman. So you're going to ask just, do you know Mr. Feldman? ¿Conoces al señor Feldman? Sí, yo conozco al señor Feldman. The next one, no, no vivo en Epworth. No, I don't live in Epworth. So you're going to ask, do you live in Epworth? Biba is in Epworth. So this is the easiest way to make up a question. The next type of question is when you need a question word. When does that happen? When you don't have a yes or no. Let me go back here. Remember, when you have a yes or no, you can never use a question word. If you have a yes or a no in an answer, that's rule number one, you never, ever ask a question using a question word. On the other hand, if you have an answer that does not have a yes or no, you must ask a question using a question word. For example, compré un carro nuevo la semana pasada. I bought a new car last week. With this kind of answer, you could ask me two things. The first one is, what did you buy last week? ¿Qué compraste la semana pasada? But maybe you can ask me, when did you buy a new car? ¿Cuándo compraste un carro nuevo? So for this answer, I could have actually two different questions, but both using question words. Why? Because I don't have a yes or a no here. Hice la tarea. I did homework. ¿Qué hiciste? Hice la tarea. Conozco al señor Feldman. Who do you know? ¿A quién conoces? Conozco al señor Feldman. Vivo en Epworth. I live in Epworth. Where do you live? ¿Dónde vives? Vivo en Epworth. So this is just for you to compare the two types of answers. If you have a yes or no question, you can never use a question word. Don't forget that. That is very important. Take notes. So as you can see, I have a C, I have a no, I have a C, I have a no. No question words here. On the other hand, if you don't have a yes or no, you must have a question word. Sometimes I'm going to provide an answer for you and I will emphasize where you should ask. For example, number one, José fue al mercado al aire libre. Okay? So you're saying Jose went to the open market. Well, if I did not emphasize the market, I could ask who went to the market, but that's not the case. I want you to give me a question where my emphasis will be the market. So I'm saying José fue al mercado al aire libre. He went to the market. He did not go to the store. He did not go to the supermarket. He went to the market. So your question should be, ¿A dónde fue José? Where did José go? Okay? Now I want you to look at answer number 2. It's the same exact answer of number 1, but now my focus is not where José went, but who went to the market, because I emphasized José here. So I'm saying, José fue al mercado al aire libre. Okay? Not Mary, not Pablo, José. So your question should be, who went to the market? ¿Quién fue al mercado al aire libre? Do you understand the difference? Here I'm emphasizing the place. Here I'm emphasizing who went to the place. So two different questions. Let's see these other examples, number 3 and 4. As you can see, you have the very same sentences with different emphasis. The first one I'm saying, a mí no me gusta correr. This is what I don't like to do. A mí no me gusta correr. I'm not saying I don't like to read, I don't like to cook, I don't like to run. That's what I'm saying. So your question should be, what don't you like to do? ¿Qué no te gusta hacer? A mí no me gusta correr. Now look at the following answer. Here I am emphasizing who doesn't like to run. So I'm saying, a mí no me gusta correr. I'm not saying that Pablo doesn't like to run, Mary doesn't like to run. I'm saying I don't like to run. So you should ask, who doesn't like to run? ¿A quién no le gusta correr? And don't forget, before using the verb gustar, we always use the a before quién. Finally, I'm going to provide what we call indirect questions. And they begin with pregúntale. Pregúntale or preguntales means ask him or her or them. If I say pregúntales, I'm asking them. I'm asking you. I'm saying ask them, ask Paul and Mary, okay? But if I say pregúntale, it's singular, ask him or her. So these are indirect questions. Indirectly, I am asking you to make up a direct question. For example, pregúntale a Pablo si le gusta estudiar en WD. Ask Pablo if, see here means if, he likes to study at WD. Very simple. All you have to do is to ask this question directly to him. So you say, Pablo, do you like to study at WD? A ti te gusta estudiar en WD, Pablo? Okay, or you can start, Pablo, comma, a ti te gusta estudiar en WD? Pregúntales, plural, a José y a Ana si ellos fueron al cine el mes pasado. Ask José y Ana if they went to the movies last month. So you ask them, did you guys go? So fueron ustedes, don't forget to flip, al cine el mes pasado. Pregúntale a María dónde vive su madre. Ask Mary where her mom lives. So you're going to say, Mary, where does your mom live? Don't forget to flip. ¿Dónde vive tu madre, María? Well, I hope that was helpful. Ask me questions in class if you have. Gracias.